Welcome back, everyone. In this episode, this is my time in Ephesus after leaving Istanbul. So many more people have contributed, and I am just overwhelmed by the generosity and support. Thank you so much. So wonderful, and I appreciate it. So this is me riding on the Mediterranean coast, and there's the Mediterranean Sea off there to the left. I just love it. Please indulge me while I enjoy reaching the Mediterranean Sea. It's such a big deal to me. Just really crazy that I have gotten to this place, and I thought it was very beautiful. So there's lots of pictures of it. And here's some sped up footage of me trying to get down to the beach, and then a little bit with my toes in the sand. That was a big deal for me. So along the way, I had hurt my knee, and it got worse. So I stopped at this place to see if I could buy a cane to help rest my knee while I do walking and stuff. And I met these guys, and they invited me to tea. And since leaving Istanbul, I vowed to myself that I would never refuse tea with someone when they offered. And I'm so grateful that I had tea with these guys. There was obviously a language barrier, but they were really great, and it was so much fun. So this is where I camped for several nights while in Ephesus. It's a beautiful area, and I really enjoyed it. All the olive groves and different farms. It was really lush and beautiful. This is a cistern that was discovered many years ago that went with this house that was Mary, the mother of Jesus' house. And when it was originally discovered, there was only about a third of that house there that you see now. And there's a pretty substantial body of evidence that supports that this was Mary's house. So I paid for a tour for the city of Ephesus, and it included Mother Mary's house as well. And this is Ephesus now. And normally I try to be much more frugal and not spend money like this, but this was really worth it. It was a really great tour. I feel like I learned a ton and saw a lot of things that I would not have seen or known about otherwise. This is the small theater in the city. We're going to see a larger one later. But even though it was expensive and more money than I wanted to spend, I felt like I learned a lot and had a great time. So these would be the nosebleed seats, the cheap seats, and this is the cavern, stairway, whatever, that you would take to and from the cheap seats. And I'm stepping out here into the main street. Just amazing artifacts. So, and this is where the hospital was, and you see the snake there. Really cool. There's just a different view of it. That's our tour guide there on the right. He was fantastic. And this is a carving of Mercury with his winged feet and the ram. I'm not big into mythology at all. Here's the goddess of victory, Nike. So forgive me if I don't get things 100% right. This is a physician who was Egyptian who came to Ephesus because they had a disease outbreak, and he came to help address the disease outbreak. And his name is inscribed there, and there was likely a statue of him above that. And these are inscriptions saying this is the city of Ephesus, basically, and that's how they know where they're at. And then this was a fountain in Ephesus where you could go and get water, bathe, whatever. This is a different structure, but what's interesting about this one is there's this woman here, I forget who she was, and then there's Medusa. See Medusa in the back there with the snaky hair, and a little bit different view of it there. And then in the very back here in the corner was, it's hard to see, but depicted a story about why that site was chosen for Ephesus. This is a stunning mosaic floor that was in front of a section of marketplace. It would have been the high-end markets. So amazing. I just loved it. That's crazy. Look at that. Survived so long. And then this is the obligatory toilet picture. No private pooping there. And little kitty cat. There were kitty cats everywhere. And so this is one of the more famous features, of course, of Ephesus is the Celsius Library. It was really remarkable. So Ephesus is kind of between two hills, and during an earthquake, the landslides came in, and not only was the city destroyed, knocked down and everything, but the landslides covered the rubble, and so made it difficult to see. Of course, there would be some pieces here and there, but so the archaeologists were building like reverse Tetris and puzzles and putting things together, and it was really interesting to hear our tour guide talk about it. And they erected certain parts that they had, the most pieces to, and they focus on a different spot. And right now they're working on the main amphitheater that we're going to see in a minute. But this is the Celsius Library. This is the huge main market area. Ephesus was originally a port town, and then there was an earthquake that moved the coastline 5 kilometers to the west. And so the Mediterranean Sea is much further away now. But this was a huge area for the port. This is the main amphitheater, and it's huge. And many famous people played here, U2 and opera singers and all that. It's still in use as a concert venue, and there were several concerts scheduled there this summer, but it is really impressive. And then here's Cleopatra and all that stuff. It was kind of fun to see the little show. Cheesy, but fun. This is the Temple of Artemis, which is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And it was interesting, but what was really interesting to me was the history, how you see this Greek-Roman temple in the foreground that was enormous, much larger than the Pantheon. But in the background, you see a Christian church, an Islamic mosque, and the Ottoman fortress on top of the hill. So such a span of history, really remarkable. And then there were storks everywhere, starting from like Europe all the way down. Really fun to see them. Then our guide took us to this UNESCO heritage site. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the city, but it was beautiful, very touristy. You see the continued Greek and Roman mythological influence here. Here's some pictures of the city. Again, it was very beautiful. Apparently, when the Mayan calendar ended and everyone thought it was going to be the end of the world, this was one of the 2 places that was supposed to survive. So during that time, like a month on either side of that, it was just packed full of people, I guess, and people were sleeping in tents on the sidewalk. Here you can get tea made, heated up in the hot sand. Here's another 1250. They're just following me everywhere. And a super cool manhole cover. It was really touristy and not my thing. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. Here's the list of those supporters again. You guys are just great. Thank you so much. Please hit the thumbs up button. Really helps my channel, and subscribing helps even more. Really appreciate all your support. Peace and love to you all.